Kagendra who's gonna make it work.
Yeah, who's gonna make this work? But okay, draft. Who do you like? Which of the squads?
I like Isurus draft. There's a lot of burst potential, so if they catch Kage off guard, it could prove to be fatal.
Okay, all right. Yeah, definitely. I could see that. Is that an easier lineup to play than the Kagendra lineup, though?
I think you have to be very mindful about your placements of your skills, especially for Senko, right? Not as easy when you're playing against someone like Pei or Direnje who has a little bit more mobility.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're going to go into this one. This is, of course, the second match of the day. Game 1, Isurus versus Kagendra. And it looks like, Isurus are going to kind of just force the top lane a little bit, make things a little bit difficult for Hans in that top lane with the Elaine.
Yeah, Mengechi actually one of the fastest wave clears with Angela, one of the most basic heroes, right? So I expect faster rotations coming out from Isurus.
Yeah. And I think that's what you kind of want. You have a lot of potential here, but Isurus, again, just kind of taking out the enemy jungle. Mengechi taking it out with the Angela. You have so much burst potential. Like, the wave clear is just on point, and she's already back in the mid lane. She didn't lose anything.
Yeah, that's right. The speed is the name of the game here for Isurus, and it looks like it's working out so far. And if you take a look at the lanes, I think the difference maker will probably be in the Clash lane, because that first rotation might spell death for the Ma Yin for Hans on the lane on the top.
All right, but it looks like Kagendra, Wyra right here, continuing to farm, pushing out the lane as quickly as possible, making things a little bit difficult. But Mengechi, it's like on the Angela, if your positioning is good, like, you can almost stay in the lane indefinitely, right? It's like you have you have so much magic burst potential that it's like, it makes it somewhat easier, I would say. Your thoughts?
Well, it makes the difference when you have the map control, right? Then you can force them in the corner. It makes things easier for Mengechi.
Okay. All right. Wyra continuing to just farm his own jungle. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the farm lane here. The Direnje versus the Consort Yu. How about you walk us through some of these, this skill, this tooltip, so to speak, kid?
Yep, so if you have experienced Consort Yu before, skill 2, which is the protecting wing, is going to be very difficult to deal with because it makes her immune to physical damage. At the same time, with the Oak Bulk for her skill 1, that will be used to kind of wear down the opponent, your heal. And of course, finally your ultimate, which is going to be a bolting shot, will be responsible for you to get those stuns and kills as well.
Yeah, it'll make it tough. But, 0-0 here, getting a little bit low. I mean, ISG kind of forcing the issue in the bottom lane, putting a lot of pressure on, and Consort Yu, 0-0, has to recall back already. That seems to be a bit of an issue for him.
Well, all props to Mengechi, right? It's all about that chaos in this, along with the Blazing Embers as well.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on. Again, just the Scorching Barrages. Look at how fast it clears. It takes 2 members of Kagendra to kind of deal with this, but okay, now let's talk a little bit more about this top lane. Hans versus Mooster. Your thoughts about that top lane, the Mayan against the Elaine?
Well, they have the Netto Gauntlet, so I think the Elaine going for a little bit more defensive measures, and meantime, Master actually going for the Meteor first, so he's looking for the Armor Pierce. So once again, it's a battle of sword and shield, right? So who is going to make the first mistake of mispositioning themselves so that the other Clash League will actually get the advantage and get the kill?
Okay, it looks like they're going to go for the top lane. The Meteor kill does knock out Moosters, but he's fighting 1 versus 2. He has Death and Sunset. He's turning this around, and Mengechi has to run away. And Hans is like, okay, you want to come at me? Let's go. And he actually scares both of them.
Not only that, yeah, bot lane also having an aggression coming up from both sides.
Forcing it out. The Tyrants, the Overlord, both of them be taken at the same time. Hans, it looks like Movers will take the Tyrants, and it looks like Ezreal will take the Overlord, but it looks like Hans had overstepped, and Mooster will take First Blood. Not great for Kagendra here.
Yeah, Ezreal actually taking the First Blood, and as well secures the victory. A first step forward for the side of Isurus, and this is a good start to the game for our Argentinian boys here.
Yeah, they're doing well. That's what you want if we're going to go back into the bottom lane. Now, that's where pretty much most of the action is. Mooster has taken out the top T1, did it very quickly, as a lot of pressure has been kind of, or the rotations from Kagendra have been more in the bottom lane, trying to prioritize farm for 0-0 as much as possible.
Well, Holla, we're going to expect a very quick change of pace here from Isurus, because now that they have the neutral objectives and a slight gold lead. Actually, no, it's not even slight, it's 2,000 gold ahead. This is where they're going to ramp up the speed and they will try to take more objectives, more kills.
Oh, the burst ram, Magma Slam movers. He'll just take this one up. Doesn't really care. He's got the leaping savior. So, but Menguche, he pops out of the bushes and he says surprise and throws out the blazing brilliance and he just kind of back off. But this Drake is going to push the bottom T1. And yeah, Magma Slam again. And again, just a little bit of a standoff in the bottom lane.
Yep, they're actually nullifying 0-0's protecting wins here. They don't even want to allow them to feel safe. Every time Menguche shows up, it's constant fear in the eyes of Kage.
Yeah, Death at Sunset going to be expended by Hans. He's going to be pushed away, just trying to force it out. But Wyra taking the Azure Golem, he needs that. So they'll give him a little bit of space. But in the jungle, are they going to be able to take that one away? I'm not sure if Israel or who took that one at the end of the... Oh, it looks like Wyra does get it in the end.
Red team.
Yep, even trade so far, but mid lane maybe a potential pincer coming in if we take a look at the rotations of Isurus.
Yeah, Loopers, Capox making his way. He's going to provide a lot of vision. They've already taken the bottom as well as the top T1. So ISG, you know, playing it very strong, understanding the objectives, knowing how they kind of, you know, take away those towers and that the vision that those towers provide, and then also at the same time getting into the enemy jungle to take what you can get.
Yep, so far, a lot of pressure being built up by Isurus here. It's going to be momentarily stifled by Senko at this point, so it's still damage limitation for Kage at this point.
Limited at this point, but you need to take this Crimson Golem. You need to get your buffs. You got to own your own jungle, right? But being down about 3k, this is not a great situation for Kagendra. But it looks like they're going to go for this. The Unbridled Outburst pushing Azrael back. The Blazing Brilliance on top. And it looks like they do end up killing Azrael. They do have the damage. The Magma Slam, the Tremor Smash from Capox pushing him away. Mooster runs away, and it looks like Kagendra have found a bit of an opening as they're going to force down this T1 mid.
Destroyed a tower.
Right, the Indonesian heroes making it work for themselves at this point. It is going to be cut down to about a 2,000 gold lead at this point. But the danger is not over yet for this side of Isurus, because it looks like Kage will be able to establish a little bit more dominance across the map if they can get a couple more kills.
It would help them. Look at this. They're hiding in the bushes. They're waiting for 0-0 to make some sort of mistake. He's actually going to not kill the pheasant because of this. He wasn't sure where they were. Movers is now made an appearance, just trying to clear away Mooster, who's going to be scared back into his side of the map. But here's the Blazing Brilliance, and Mooster, oh, surprise! And that was with the Fog of War hiding in the bushes. You got to check all the bushes. You can't face check them like that. And Menguche, he's going to flash over the wall. He's going to be fine.
Red team has slain
Menguche as well, and Win RJ gets another kill, and this is a perfect start here to the mid-game entry point for Isurus as they make a big deal for themselves in the tier 2 top lane as well.
They're going to take this one. Easily done. Blazing Brilliance pushes 0-0 back. And he's had a hard time. Concert Yu, again, wants that farm. Has a potential to outplay the enemy farm laner in the D-Renge. But it looks like they're going to go for the Unbridled Outburst. They do have him. He dashes over the wall. The Leaping Savior over. Goes for Mooster, but he whatevers over the wall, and he's fine.
Yeah, and it's difficult, right? So at this point, Kage is still looking for the entry point, opening start to the fight, because they need a little bit more time before they can deal that massive damage that we're expecting out of 0-0. In the meantime, Tyrant going to be threatened by the side of Isurus.
It's about half life. And sometimes they're disappearing because we're playing with a Fog of War. It's a little difficult, but the Tremor Smash goes in. Wyra's down for the count, but they did get the Tyrants. Israel will take that one, but Menguche finally dies. I think that's his first of the day. And the it looks like they're going to just kind of bounce that Flowing Sigh around. The Ocean of Tears just kind of providing a little bit of space for their retreat.
Yep, and it's not just that, it's the jungle being threatened as well at this point. Azrael looking for a potential kill here. This is the benefit of the Pei, right? Pei able to deal massive amounts of burst damage, but that comes with a cap as well. So Isurus, they are on a timer. I think Kage, as long as they last the game, they should be able to do it. Take a look at the itemization that they have so far. Consort U already has the Eternity Blade, Crimson Reaper building into the Blood Reaper as well.
I mean, this is an 8k net worth lead. I mean, some of the positional ones, I wish we could show that screen again, but there was like a 2k net worth lead in the positions alone. They've been doing quite well, ISG that is. But now with the Overlord here, looks like Catbox will scout this one out. The Blazing Brilliance just landing and doing so much damage onto Wyra. And the Ocean of Tears slows things down, and Kagendra are like, okay, we don't want the Overlord that bad. We're not going to take this one. We're going to back off here.
Yep, actually not ideal because Senko actually used his destructive delusion. At this point, it's not a good fight for the side of Kage to take.
Yeah, definitely not there. And, but they're going to back him off. Menguche back with the Blazing Brilliance already. And it looks like they're going to turn this around. Israel will start the Overlord. And it looks like they're going to kind of do as much quickly as possible. And they're going to make their way to the bottom lane to kind of deal with the Tyrant because they know Kagendra are making, or they're eyeing their prize on this. They're going to go in for this one. The burst ramp back. They've already gotten the Overlord. Epoch is going to get upward. And the Blazing Brilliance onto Wyra. But everybody's so low from ISG. And it looks like Kagendra don't want any more of this.
Yep, smart decision to pull away, right? But at this point, Kage, they need to find something more on the map. They are trailing behind by about 4,000 gold. It's not a very healthy gold difference at this point. They need to get that Chain Lightning buff. They need to get the Tyrant as well. So Kage, I know they're behind, but they need to take some risks.
Yeah, you got to take some risks, but it's one of those things where we know that they're going for it. Like, their play is very teleported, right? Like, or sorry, telegraphed, excuse me. Like, ISG know what's happening. They're like, oh, they're all off the map. Where are they going to be? They're going to be in the Tyrant. So we just need to make sure that we need to contest it, make it a little bit difficult for Kagendra to basically play the game that ISG want them to play.
Yep, and ISG doing a lot of work with the vision control. I really love this. You don't really spot a lot of members on the side of Isurus out in the open.
And it looks like they're going to take the mid T1. So yeah, it looks like they've kind of gotten that opening. They're going to continue to push into the mid lane here. Wyra going in for this. Does need to be careful. There are 4 members. He's going to get bursted and he gets blown up. Moosters will take credit for this, as well as taking the T2. And this is the opening that ISG wanted.
Well, they have a chance now. 0-0 is still alive, so Kage can make the defense, but at this point it really comes down. Will they get skill shotted out of the defense? Right here, Chaos Cinder's gonna be landed down as well. Oh, there's a nice stun coming in.
Was going for it, but they just back off, like understanding that, hey, if they jump for us, we can just get on out of this. Wyra down for another 10 more seconds. Kagendra really don't have that opening. They're not gonna take a fight 4 versus 5, especially outside of the base.
Yep, and you can feel the pressure, right? Kage, definitely, they don't want to take a risk, but Isurus is not even allowing that as an option.
Yeah, no options here. Move first. He's going to get jumped in here. And it looks like ISG, again, just controlling the map. This is a very impressive play.
Well, as we take a look at the rest of the map here, it looks like Isurus, they will have a little bit more control. Obviously, the tier 3s are not down yet, right? So at this point, whenever the tier 3s are still up, you still stand a pretty healthy chance of a turnaround. Now it's really up to Kage. Can they get that snipe? Can they get that straggler from the side of Isurus?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, look at ISG are pushing on all fronts here. Boosters, he's all the way in the front and, attracting 3 heroes' attention. And while at the same time, they're pushing from the top lane as well. So ISG putting pressure on all fronts. But where are they weakest? Here's the Tremor Smash. He's going in for the Tremor Slam, with the Magma Slam. And it looks like Wyra will eat this one. He uses the Invincible Warrior. So the ultimate is on cooldown.
Oh, that's not ideal, right? Because right now this would be a perfect opportunity for Isurus to pick their fight, because this is the time where they're out of ultimates for Senko as well as Wyra.
It looks like they're going to chase after movers. He's being chased. He's under the tower. He's going to be fine. But again, a lot of this attention is being just kind of pushed in, forcing it out, making it very difficult for Kagendra to do anything at this stage.
Yeah, man, if you take a look at WinRJ, my goodness, doing so much work with the Spark Force Dagger, the passive procs of the Chain Lightning, just melting down the health bars of the members on the side of Kage. Really like the Hot Knife through butter at this point. And the add-on to that, welcome, this is going to be the Shadow Overlord spawning for the side of the top lane.
Yeah, this is going to be it. I mean, they don't know where they are. Look at how Kagendra are hidden, right? They don't really see everything. Obviously, the Fog of War playing a bit of an issue. Mover walks in just to see if the Overlord is being started. It has not been. But again, they don't really know where ISG... Okay, now they're being shown in the mid lane. But it's going to be a matter of time before that the Overlord is going to be started here.
Yep, and this could be the decider of the match here.
Oh, Wyra going in for this. The Unbridled Outburst going to be committed. Oh, nice Trevor slam. It connects on the 3. The Death at Sunset. They might have gotten a Catbox, and they do. But WinRJ now on the run. Hans continuing to fight, but he's going to be bursted. He's going to be killed. It's 1-for-1 thus far. And in the top lane, the lanes are pushing. This is going to be providing a lot. But now Kagendra, this is the opening that they might have gotten. Yes, it's only Catbox, but this is something. You got to push on, but again, the minions are not there. So Kagendra actually have to back off and wait for the next minion wave.
Oh, Mengeji is going to try and delay this. Master in the lone in the bush. Oh, pushed out.
Yeah, Booster just providing vision.
Ezreal.
Tiger pounces out. Booster continuing on. Does get the launch up onto Wyra. The Blazing Brilliant is just a little too short. And it looks like Kagendra will back off. They're going to wait for Hans to come back into this one. But Catbox is going to be back as well. And now they're going to just make the rush for the Overlord. Already at half-life. Menguchi all the way in the front. Throws out the Scorching Barrage. It looks like Kagendra, are they going to steal it? 0-0 will take this one out. That's a win for them. Kagendra really needed that. They went for the Hail Mary play, and they did get it. So very well played by Kagendra.
Yep, they recover, and not only that, they managed to protect the tier 3 as well. Now this is a swing of momentum. Once again, when the tier 3s are still up, you have a very healthy chance of that turnaround and that comeback. And Kage making it work so far. We are close to the 17-minute mark, 3 minutes away from that Empress Dragon.
Oh my gosh, it's going to the distance, so to speak. All they need to do is survive. Kagendra, like, digging in deep. Again, this is what they wanted to have done, right? Making sure that they're trying to just give themselves a chance, right? Yes, they were behind. They're still behind, but they're making action happen. In that top lane, they do need to be careful. They did lose the top T3, but they want something in their return, which is looking to be the bottom T3 with all 5 members. Death at Sunset, they push them away. They scurry them away. They did get the T3. Very smart play. They've committed the Unbridled Outburst as well. Catbox is going to have to just back off. The Blazing Brilliance just pushing them away, and it looks like Kagendra will back off, taking that bottom T3.
Yeah, Master making a very good game-saving play there. Now they have to rush back to the base. They will not allow them to recall as well. This is horrible for the side of Kage.
Yeah, look at this. Mooster actually had pushed the top. Hans had to recall all the way back in, or back to base, excuse me. Wyra still alive. He does use the Invincible Warrior. Muster, he's looking to just whatever dash out of this one. He pushes Hans. Death at Sunset, but it's Menguchi. He's trying to kill him, trying to force it out. The flash has been committed, and Hans continuing to fight, but he's being bursted. And Menguchi says, hello, you want me? I'm going to take you out. Mooster's down for the count as well. So with the 1-for-1 thus far, Kagendra still finding ways to get themselves back in this game. Looks like they're going to take the Tyrant.
Yep, now it's all about the wave management. If you take a look at the itemization, fully built onto Pei, there's no entry point for them. This will be the Tyrant for the side of Kage.
Yeah, they've taken this one out. It's 18 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a 5k net worth lead for ISG. They're kind of definitely still winning, but it feels very neck and neck. I feel like the next team fight might be a coin flip, and if Kagendra can come out of the winners of that one, ISG fans, you got something to be worried about.
Yeah, but the odds are stacked against them because they have 2 Sages Sanctuaries on the hands of the kids of the members on the side of Isurus. That's going to be the hands of Pei as well as the D-Run tier. So it's going to be as well as WinRJ. 2 heroes that will be able to deal a lot of damage as well, right? Third member responsible for damage will be at Mengeji. So we will see if this will be the difference maker. Will that second life prove to be the death of the side of Kage for game number 1?
Yeah, that would be huge. Look at Wyra sticking around. Look at levels. Everybody's level 15 at this stage. I mean, yeah, we're close to 20 minutes into this one. So it's a matter of who blinks first. Kagendra, you see them on the map. We don't see ISG, and this is not a bug. This is more of, where are they? What is going on? We're trying to keep it in suspense, and that's, so to speak. But, you know, at this point, ISG, they're just kind of, you know, reclaim their own map back. And it looks like Wyra will walk into Capex.
Right, and here we are. It's gonna be the close to the 20-minute mark. The Tempest Dragon, first one of the day. It's gonna be spawning really soon. And right now, Kage have a better position of it.
Yeah, better position, but they need to worry about where the minions are, right? The bottom lane is pushing in favor of Kagendra, so it looks like they have two members. This is Menguche and Windar J are going to have to deal with that. And now the rest of them, Mooster still on the run. They don't really have the catch, which is a little bit of a problem because Mooster on the Main is just so mobile.
Yeah, Kapok Saber though does catch vision onto his respective counterpart movers here, and this positioning not ideal for the side of Isurus. It looks like Kage could get this ball rolling.
Oh, Hans, he dives deep. He goes for the Death at Sunset, but he doesn't really connect. He doesn't do the damage. Does need to be careful. The Tremor Slam goes in, and Hans is going to be blown up. And that was a bit of a misplay by Hans going out of position. Now your team is in a bad spot. Kagendra need to figure out how to defend this, or maybe contest with only 4 members.
As we're out looking for the opening as well, this could be the game decider here. Whoever gets the Tempest Dragon and survives the fight will be the winner of this game.
Yeah,
oh, Master is on the split push!
Oh, they got it. Somebody needs to come back. They need to be careful. It looks like Wyra will go back, and now it's going to be 3 versus 4 around the Shadow Tyrant here. The Burst Ram, he's going to go for this one. The Mega Slam, the Unbridled Outburst is going to be used for Mover just to keep him alive. The Blazing Brilliance is burning him up, but Catbox is the one that actually goes back. That's going to be life number 1. The Resurrection, they do have him, and he's going to be immune, but no, Ezreal goes down. They're so low. Wyra continue to chase. He has the Invincible Warriors, and Catbox is down as well. Mooster now on the run, and Kagendra have found that opening. They somehow held, and they're now up 2 heroes. They found this opening, and they want to push in the mid lane.
Yep, they waited the whole game for this opportunity, and finally Ezreal is dead. They have the potential to take the Tempest Dragon if things don't work out, but it stands now. Kage, they see the light, they want to go forward as well. Gonna be slowly slowed down, but that might be the end of the game here.
Yeah, they might be the end. I mean, the minions have been slowed down, if anything. The Death at Sunset on Menguche, he's just trying to force it out with a Meteor kill. He has the Blazing Brilliance, but it misses, and the base is open. Of course, the minions are now spawned. It's going to be difficult for them. Kagendra are trying to figure this one out. They had the one last catapult, and that one's going to go down, so they don't have the minions to deal with this. And now it looks like ISG have held, and they prolong the game a little bit longer. But do they go for the Shadow Tyrant here?
Well, it's a mirror effect here because the Super Minions will be crashing down on top lane of Kage, as well as the Super Minions will be crashing down in the mid and the bot lane to the side of Isurus. Now it's all about the timing. Ezreal here looking to work on the Tempest Dragon. Where's the rest of them? They're trying. Kapok Saber, he will be the one to try and slow them down. There's not enough time maybe.
Oh, the Shadow Tyrant already so low. Who's going to take this one out? Who can get it? And it looks like Israel will take this one out. But now that they're on the run, the Death at Sunset, Menguche flashes over the wall. It looks like Movers is going to be the first to fall. They've gotten him killed. Hans is continuing to fight. Wyra does get Windar J. That's most of the damage. They've got the double kill from Wyra. He's continuing to fight, and now ISG on the run, pushing the lane as fast as possible, trying to just buy a little bit more time, seeing as they've got 2 members down, but with Movers, you know, down as well for another 30 seconds. ISG, what do they do here?
It's a critical time, right? So they need to clear the waves, they need to put the pressure on the Kage. At this point, if you take a look at the top lane itself, Super Minions, that's sure, that's easy for them to deal with, or rather, that's a little bit of difficulty, but the Tempest Dragons coming in with the disruption, they could open the doors to start and break down and make the base barren for the side of Kage. Now, Kage, this is a very tall order for them at this point. It's 130 seconds before the next Tempest Dragons. Kage will do well for themselves to make sure they don't leave any openings at this point.
Yeah, no openings here, but it looks like Kagendra have done a good job of just pushing out the lanes, making sure that nothing is really pushing. Yes, the top lane is vulnerable, and they do need to deal with the next one in the top lane, but if we're looking at what ISG have done, they've kind of gotten what they've wanted. In the sense, they've slowed the game down, they're starting to regroup and to take a proper team fight with the hopes that Kagendra gets spread too thin.
Yeah, but 0-0 needs to make sure that he doesn't get caught. Yes, he does have the Sage's Sanctuary, but at this point, the damage coming out from ISG might be too much.
Yeah, might be too much here. It looks like the Ocean is here just slowing things down. That is Destructive Deluge as well. But if we're looking in the mid lane, Wyra, Invincible Warrior or not, but this is a 4 versus 1.
Well.
They do have the knockback. The Sunset, he just tries to get him. That's going to be life number 1. He's going to come back in. Ezreal's back up and at it. But Menguche is down for the count. That's a lot of damage. They need to be careful. Kagendra here. They found that opening. They do have 1 member down. 40 seconds, but they need to protect their base. The top lane is being pushed as well. And Hans will look to just kind of defend this one. Senko is in the bottom lane. And this is the problem. Kagendra, yes, they are getting kills, but they need to deal and protect their own base.
Yep, so far, I mean, it feels like Kage is the one with the more open base, even though there are 2 lanes of super minions marching down onto Isurus. And that speaks volumes about the damage that they're doing, right? So at this point, Kage, they need to watch out. They have so many things they need to do. They need to clear the waves. They need to make sure they don't overstep their boundaries and get picked off as a straggler as well.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to happen 30 more seconds before the next Shadow Tyrant as well. So that's going to be another pretty big win. But Kagendra here finding ways that, yes, they're losing in the objective department, but they're finding kills and making it difficult for ISG to push. To think that we would see a 25-minute game in the second match of the day, of course, we knew it was going to be close, but we didn't think it was going to go to this distance, correct?
Yep, I mean, at this point, I think the ideal understanding is that we would not have it any other way. Kage and ISG, their fates are on the line. This has to be the one. We have to have a long game. And this is the second Tempest Dragon of the game itself. Kage and ISG, their fates are on the line.
Yeah, everything is at stake here. And it looks like ISG, like, you're sticking around Mooster, you're probably wondering, like, what is he doing? Why is he just waiting in the, in the cave? He's just providing vision for when that, okay, Wyra finds him. Woofers goes after this one. It's a 1 versus 1 thus far. He has the knock up with his whatever, but he's going to be chased back, gets knocked back with the Ocean of Tears. And ISG now, are they going to actually go for this?
I doubt so, because at this point it's really up to Master. He needs to make sure he finds more than one person with the whatever as well to get serious. They need to get the lockdown, or else they will not be able to win the fight. Right now, the firepower is equal on both sides. It's really about protecting your damage dealers. This is going to be in the form of Mengeche and WinRJ for the side of Fires.
Yeah, it looks like Tempest Dragon here, just kind of chilling here, waiting for somebody to make the first move. But you want that kill. You got to do it safely. So ISG and Kagendra both playing it very, very slowly. Nobody wants to blink. Nobody wants to make that first mistake. And it looks like Hans will deal with Ezreal. They need to deal with this. And like, look at minions have all been pushing. This is the late game. If you want to see how to play late game HOK, tune in right now and stay tuned for the rest of this one and probably the rest of the series.
Yeah, Master once again doing a very good job. Oh, they got caught by the Weeraw here. He has a ton of hit points. It doesn't matter if he gets caught out by Mengechi at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like again they've slowed things down. They don't want to they just got to fix the lanes, right? The top lane is pushing, something to take note of. But it's difficult to burst someone at this point. Hans is a little bit low. Wyra finds Ezreal. Ezreal's on the run. He's going to be knocked up. He Tiger pounces away. He's going to be fine, but you got to play things super carefully. You dying right now could literally just end the game.
Exactly. So there is a little bit of insurance on the side of Kage, and for Hans and we 0-0, they still do have that Sage's Sanctuary, Senku as well. So this could be the turning point for the side of Kage. Movers, if he gets the perfect pick off, it could be huge.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, if we're talking about net worth lead, like, it doesn't even matter anymore, right? At this point, everybody's kind of capped out. It's just a matter of the positioning and the correct calls, right? Getting that pick off would be huge. Finding that objective or that space is super important. But at the same time, you got to make sure that your lanes are not being pushed where you're potentially, you could just, be backdoored or whatever it is. You got to be careful.
Yep, and at this point, Skydome, in the hands of Ezreal, he's gonna have additional movement speed and damage reduction. And every time he gets a kill, it is refreshed. So they need to be very careful not to give the kills to Ezreal. If they have to give a kill, they have to give this much else.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's like, again, nobody wants to make that first move. Everybody's super cautious. Like, it's one of those things where, how are we going to do this? What do we need to do? like we don't have the proper vision. We just got to fix the lanes. We just got to provide as much vision as possible. But Moosters finds Wyra, pulls him back with the whatever, and they don't actually have the control, so to speak. Very difficult situation for both teams.
There's so many things they need to consider. I mean, ideally you want to take out the jungler, right? That kind of helps you to secure the neutral objective a little better. And here we go.
Oh, the Blazing Brilliance.
AJ putting down.
Oh, they're doing a lot of damage. Unbridled Outburst, though, he just shrugs that one off. And yes, that's an ult committed. So I guess that's a win for ISG. But can they turn this into something here?
Well, they're looking and they're trying. 0-0 still clearing the lanes. They need to make sure that the wave management is good for them.
They found movers yet again. Again, no Unbridled Outburst. This might be the opening that they want. But the Invincible Warrior, that's going to be committed. Wyra trying to find Israel, trying to burst him down. He gets a little bit low. Mengucci taking on a lot of damage as well. He's the squishiest of all of them, so you got to be careful with that. But the lanes are pushing, at least in the top lane. 0-0 will go to fix it.
Well, Ezreal looking to try and sneak in and attempt with the Tempest Dragons, but once again, Kage keep their eyes open, eyes peeled for the danger of the steal as well.
Yeah, they're sticking around. They know this is the big objective. They cannot give it up. It's about half-life or so. It went back in, healed a bit. Catbox is around the corner. It looks like Kagendra are looking to burst this one in. Go in for this one, but 0-0 does take this, and it looks like Ezreal's going to be down for the count as well, and Kagendra, but the base, the minions are there. They need to deal with this one. It's so low. Windar J is down for the count as well, and the minions are turning into winions. They just need to deal with the little lesser-known ones with the Mengucci. He's going to come back. He's going to use Blazing Brilliance. He's going to look to just keep him alive, but now Wyra is here, and Mengucci, he's going to stasis for now, but the base wide open. Mengucci's down for the count, and Kagendra have done it. They dug deep, and they end up taking game 1.
Yeah, Kagendra now, your winners of the first game of this best of 3 series. They